Hello guys, this is Bruno de Andrade. I'm directly from Brazil, speaking to you from Belo Horizonte. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come by to the conference this time, but it's my second participation and I'm so thankful about it. So this year I'm presenting to you the work Tirolcraft 2.0, the quest for children to shape their heritage values using Geogames. A little bit about me. I'm an architect and urbanist. I had my bachelor degree at the Federal University of Espírito Santo with a final work on a heritage route, connecting some old farms in Brazil from the coffee period and the sugar. And then my master degree was about representing the territorial heritage with geoinformation technology when I started working with participatory planning, when I started working with children. And then now in my PhD, I'm a PhD candidate at the Federal University of Minas Gerais. And my work is called Geogames on the representation, planning and management of the territorial heritage. When I keep working in the settlement called Tirol in Espírito Santo in Brazil, that was settled by Austrian Tyrolean migrants back to the 19th century, that I'll be talking to you about more often further on. So we've been working in Tirol for 3 years now, from my academic research since my my master thesis actually. And as you can see in the landscape and within the architecture, there is a lot of similarities regarding architecture elements and the settlement way of occupying the space and the territory, that it's a legacy from the Tyrolean Austrian migrants. And that's why also I spent 1 year of my PhD on a mobility. I won Erasmus Mundus scholarship for being in the Technische Universität Wien when I got to know all of you guys last year. So I put this drawing for us to get the notion that I started working with them 3 years ago with cognitive and perceptive drawings, so I could get the relationship that children establish between the physical environment and what kind of tangible and intangible heritage do they get from it. And then in my PhD, the research question was to ask if children could use in the digital world on a gamifying approach represent the territory in a more precise way, since they are the digital natives from the century. And then we've made some experiments using Minecraft. I'm showing you a small video. So as you can see, they were all surrounded in my own notebook because the school doesn't have any other computers. The one that they have, you could see it's a really old one, and they actually have some new ones, but they are kind of frozen on a government way of teaching, and then they cannot really use it. We could not install Minecraft to use it. So they were all playing on my notebook. So you could see how this concept of digital natives is so strong and important, and how they could really manage it. Although Tyrol is a region, I must tell you, it's called the forgotten piece of Austria in Brazil. I hope I am being a bridge to reconnect this kind of values. And we are working also right now with a school in Schlitters in Tyrol. They are doing some of the same experiments that we are doing, not with computers yet because I'm not there, but with a project called Message in a Bottle, where children from Brazil are exchanging impressions and heritage visions of their territory, about their everyday lives and what do they do, what they usually do, and mainly how do they envision the territory in their future. In the future. So we were working with Minecraft. So Minecraft is a block by block game to build or even to destroy, and this is a really interesting and engaging concept for children. Structures which was tested using concepts and techniques of child-computer interaction, and it is part of my PhD research on Geogames, on representation planning and management, with the aim to enhance consciousness of place, heritage values, and planning skills in children. Since we have a Tyrol here in Brazil, the main axis of my research is about reconnecting heritage values. They are material, they are immaterial, they are expressed in so many ways in the territory, in the architecture, in the way that children live. How do they, their economic values also, they're mainly based on agriculture, which is really interesting because mainly the migrants that came from here to here, they were farmers from Austria. So the experiment using Minecraft was led in 2-day meeting, 4 hours each, 8 hours total, with the goal to build Tyrol as if they were the migrant arriving in Brazil from Austria. So the phrase that was challenging them is, if you were the migrant to arrive here in Brazil in 1859, how would you settle here? What would you do? What would be your needs? And then the answer was, we would need a shelter and we would need to farm. So this is interesting because it was exactly what the migrants did. They first built a temporary shelter and then they built the, the consolidated house, and actually the farms and everything that they needed. They learned from the Indians, the natives from Brazil also, what kind of fruits, of products that could enhance in a really fast way the way to live. And the results are impressive regarding, we already know, the protagonist role of children in planning processes, and right now how amazing they are in identifying their inherited values and designing a small Tyrolean village. What they did in Minecraft blew me away and my team, because what they did was almost representing and reproducing the way of settle of the Tyroleans. So what they did, representing Minecraft, the vision as if they were the migrants arriving here, they developed Tyrol like 10,000 more than it is today. What they did was really expressing the way of settlement of the Tyroleans, which is really amazing because then we touch some really dense concepts regarding psychology, even collective memory, collective intelligence, something that is heritage, that is transmitted through generations really in a really strong and deep way that they can reproduce right now on a game. It's really impressive. So here's some of the pictures that you can see. So what they did was, the first step, I reproduced Tyrol in Minecraft using Word Painter and then using Photoshop, and I modeled the real contest of Tirol in Brazil. And then I built only the landscape because I didn't want to rebuild the buildings as they are in the places that they are right now, because I wanted to challenge them to build Tirol as if they were the first ones arriving there. And so you can see in some of the pictures they were settled really around the church that is already there, but that wasn't built by me, I mean. And then 3 or 4, the first ones, they started building some of the houses that you can see right there in wood, in stone, really colorful. And of course they were building the houses as a shelter, and also they were building the farms and everything so they can eat, and the things for subsistence. And one of them just asked everybody, but what about the church? And then she decided to rebuild the church in the place that actually it is today. So she asked me, where is the church? And then I pointed to her. She said, okay, let's rebuild the church now. And they and then after that, all of them, they were building around the church as if, for example, is the town of Alpbach in Tyrol, or Stubaital, or Obertal, other cities. Sorry, my German is not good yet, but it will be one day. And they were actually reproducing the Tyrolean way of settlement. They were developing our Tyrol in such an amazing way that it is not today. So this gives us a lot of information about how it should be in the future. So this is the goal, was reached and far beyond what we could imagine, or anything. So this is Brazil. This is the state of Espírito Santo. This is the municipality of Santa Leopoldina. Yes, it is in honor of the Empress Leopoldina from Austria. Yeah, she was here. She was our queen. And then this small district in yellow is Tirol. This is the urban center of Santa Leopoldina. Some of other pictures for you to know: a lot of waterfalls, lakes, small chapels, small architecture, and everything. So our keywords: heritage values, participatory planning, geogames, game-based learning, child-embodied interaction. So I guess I told you mainly what it was about, what it was. My goal here in this recording presentation was to bring you curiosity about our work. We started with drawings, and now we are playing digital games using Lego 3D and Minecraft. Professor Alexander Pfeiffer knows a lot about our work. We are working also together on a charity, a project he started for Tirol in Brazil. It's so amazing to buy equipments for children here. As you saw, they need it a lot. Also to thank Professor Natalie Denk for this opportunity. And we are working with this concept of Geogames, that is, games spatially placed, that brings children a conscious of space and knowledge about the territory. So what is heritage? We ask them, but the heritage is a word they don't really know. So we start asking, what are values for you? And then we mainly go through a perception mapping senses way to get to the values. And I just wrote, so the main authors about Geogames are Schleider, a professor for the University of Bamberg, and Professor Alenka Poplin, that is now a professor from Iowa University. And I created this concept called Child Embodied Interaction. It's an article, a paper that is under review. I hope it will get out soon. That is exactly about it. What I'm betting is that is the best way to do for children to participate into planning processes is a hybrid approach on a physical exploration of the territory like Pokemon Go eyes with an indoor VR and Minecraft way of thinking and exploring and projecting co-designing the future. So I've been through that. The children were between 9 and 13 years old in a public school from Tyrol. The main concepts that guides my research is the Italian territorialist approach, which is really inspiring me a lot since my master thesis, and the goal was to encourage children to represent their heritage values in Tyrol and to think about self-sustainable development futures. The methodology was led in two phases. First, I did the environmental heritage modeling, and then children went to co-design the future. So there is something about game-based learning effect, heritage values. There is this gap that we identified about planning parameters, cognitive embodiment, and the research questions about how can shaping the territorial heritage in Minecraft be a value learning platform for children, and so can this serve to shape a new generation more prepared to intervene in the territory. This is what we believe, this Kinder Architect project, and the next steps will be working with VR. Fortunately, we will have equipment in the future. I really do hope. Uh, Even if I had to buy it myself, only one glasses for them and a new cell phone, so they can explore Minecraft and design and redesign inside the game. Have because VR, as we believe, for planning processes would be a way to give another dimension of exploration of the territory, would be giving them another sense and conscious of space, another kind of depth in this approach that we believe in. So thank you so much for this opportunity, for watching this video. I hope this come up good. I can see that my voice is a little bit after than my mouth in the video, but I thank you so much, Frog and the Duna University, Krems, and Professor Alexander Pfeiffer, Professor Natalie Denk, and everybody for this opportunity. I really hope I can join you soon, pretty soon, Monday. Okay? Bye bye from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Thank you so much.